Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for your tenacious work on this issue. You've done a marvelous job. I know you've traveled the country talking to constituent groups from every corner of our nation. I know you've been to my district a couple of times, and I can tell you the response was pretty fabulous. People really liked what this proposal would do, and it became very clear that they want to make sure their Social Security is protected for the next 75 years. I can't believe some of the concern that we're hearing from my friends on the other side of the aisle about this bill. To discount the fact that Mr. Larson pays for the reforms in his bill after the Republicans charge future generations $2.5 trillion to pay for a tax cut that benefits the richest Americans and corporations, and to express concern for young workers that's faux concern at its best. And to claim that Main Street small businesses would be, quote unquote, hammered by the bill ignores the fact that Social Security dollars are in large part spent on main streets across our country and in small businesses across our nation. In my district alone, we receive $2.5 billion a year in Social Security checks. And, you know, most of those checks don't go to an offshore account in the Cayman Islands. They're spent every day just to get by and to make ends meet. So let's be honest today. Social Security is important to small businesses and to those who collect their benefits today, and to young Americans who collect Social Security in the future. Social Security provides retirement security for hardworking Americans. Whenever I think about Social Security, I think about my grandmother, a first-generation American born to Italian immigrants. She worked, she and my grandfather had a small business, but she worked outside of that small business sewing gloves at the Napa Glove Factory. When World War II broke out, she was in charge of the division that made gloves for our Seabees. After the war, that job played out. She went to work at a Napa Valley winery labeling wine. She worked there up until she retired. Her pension in those years of working was $53 a month. You can't make ends meet on $53 a month. It was Social Security that allowed her to live with dignity for the rest of her life. And she was proud of that Social Security. She'd always talk about how she earned it, how she paid into it. And that's exactly what it is. It's an earned benefit. And it is so critically important to Americans when my grandmother was alive, Americans today, and Americans into the future. Mrs. Altman, if we don't pass this legislation and Congress makes no other changes, and I want to point out, our friends on the other side don't have a proposal. So if Congress makes no improvements to Social Security, what will that mean for future generations of retirees?
Well, as I said, future generations are going to need Social Security more than today's retirees. And if benefits are cut, as the actuaries have projected, if Congress takes no action whatsoever, those benefits will be only about 80% of what they are now. And it will hurt the economy, and it will be devastating. It's an important point to remember also that in the 2100 Act raises disability benefits and survivors' benefits as well as retirement benefits.
Thank you. Mr. Gross, in your estimation, how would this legislation affect retirement benefits for future generations of retirees?
For future generations, as indicated earlier, and as Nancy just indicated, if we do not make any change in law, when we reach 2035, there will only be enough income coming in after our reserves, which are now $2.9 trillion, have been used up to augment payroll taxes. We will not have that reserve available anymore. So we'll have 80 cents coming in revenue for every dollar of scheduled benefit. That means the benefit levels that people are used to getting at this point would be paid at that point only 80% as much. That's a big drop. By 2093, that's looking pretty far out. For some of the children and grandchildren of folks in the room, though, that might be relevant. That would drop down to only 75%. That would make a big difference. And I would suggest that really, and we get into some of the numbers here, the amount of extra revenue that people at the $50,000 or $45,000 earnings level would be putting in over the balance of their career relative to the additional benefit that they would be receiving, largely by not having benefits reduced below what is scheduled. The primary effect of this bill would not be to provide the 4.6% increase in benefits above what's scheduled. It would be to provide the 25 to 33% increase in benefit levels after 2035 relative to what will be payable if you all do not act in legislation.
Thank you very much.